Okay, making a part 2 on this. You can do certain things that'll work, but it's not always going to work. You have to try new ideas, new ways of thinking. And again, I'm not an expert on JKD or anything, but I don't think these two guys doing this little video were either. Just, no. There are punches, even in Jeet Kune. Well, that's why he developed the 1-inch punch. Or was that from Wing Chun? I think that's from Wing Chun. I don't know. I studied a little bit of Asti San. Trying to remember. There's a 3-inch punch, the 1-inch punch. Yeah, and that's still in the curriculum, so. Yeah, that was already there. He developed that unique it's kind of like a hooking, almost fucking front kick. Like it's almost like a front side kick, but it's like this interesting hook thing when he does it. But anyway, most of what Bruce Lee did were concepts. So no, he didn't invent the 1-inch punch. That's also wrong. That was in there already. That's already in Wing Chun. It works. I see my old video where I hit like, yeah, I only hit 501, but again, I was fucking tired. We've been there through that one. But it would be an effective move, could do damage enough to set up for other things and whatnot. But it is not an original concept to Jeet Kune Do. That turning side kick thing he does, it's almost a hook kick, is kind of, and then there's that, I don't know, he may have got the sides arms, but anyway. If you only have 3 places you're always going to attack, people are going to be ready for you. That defeats the whole purpose. Therefore, that would be not functional. And what do you do with things in Jeet Kune Do that are not functional? You discard them. The utilitarian attitude that is required for Jeet Kune Do to work is that. And also, that destroys the principle of being like water. You're not flowing. You're not going with the flow. You're not coming up with a new way of doing things. You're set. You're rigid at this point. You're the old stone wall that can only ever be a wall. That the water will overflow and slowly tear through and slowly knock down bit by bit because the water can flow, the water can move, the water can change its way of going. You know, Bruce Lee did that whole thing. So I don't need to go through that again. So basically, you're not altering enough. You're cutting out the whole point. And again, in that Jun Fin, whatever the fuck, she's also having a kick here. And it's what after the fake eye jab and then the leg kick, yes, that's there. She goes, and her husband go in there to a punch right here, a hook right there, and another one. Not the eyes, not the nuts, not the knee. While those are in that, there are other moves she's showing right there. And as a child, she grew up around Bruce Lee because her father was his #1 student. And well, he's the most noteworthy. I don't know what the fucking categories are in there, but I know every fucking thing you've seen Bruce and Dan around a lot, so, you know. And I'm not dissing, but these guys are guys who learned from a guy who learned from the original student of Bruce Lee. Cool. But Bruce was ever changing his style. Again, flowing like water. Going from one to the other. Changing the shape, changing the quality, changing what it needed to be to fit what he needed it to be. It would work better. I mean, even what they're teaching, it is what Bruce gave to this guy. And the concepts are always the important part of Jeet Kune Do. There are attacks and whatnot. But right now, no. Thinking that it is just 3 movesets put together, like Wing Chun, Thai boxing, and Judo. No! Absolutely not. It was like everything boxing was a thing. Like Bruce Lee's main thing was he loved boxing. I think he even went to college and did boxing. At any rate, that's, yeah. It's like from any martial art, if you find something that you believe works, then you use that. Have enough training behind you beforehand before adding shit, because if you don't, you're gonna not know what the fuck you're doing, so. And I gotta make a systema joke, but anyway. I don't know, I haven't seen anything in Systema that works. I could be wrong, maybe there's someone out there, I just haven't seen it. I've seen it. Anyway. So, again though. The last thing in the world would just be to straight line it. That's what they're doing. Main concept. To flow as a liquid would. It's like water and whatnot. You have to be able to adapt. And having only 3 set targets, or main targets, is not adapting. That's failing to adapt. There are millions of targets that can do a lot more damage. And if you're always going for the new, well, they're gonna fucking check that, and they're gonna fuck up your world. Because if you don't even know how to kick properly, and you're just side kicking that knee, they will shatter your fucking leg. Sorry, but it'll happen. Die gouge, they duck it, and they can fucking fuck you up. Or if you miss it. I have never had that happen, but I've heard it's happened where you can miss an eye gouge and fucking hit somebody right in the temple. Or hit him, not temple would be a good idea. Hit him right in the forehead and it doesn't do shit. So, how is that useful at all? It doesn't work. It's a bad idea. Again, Jeet Kune Do. Use what is useful, dump what is useless. You have concepts and all these other things in the original Jeet Kune Do. No. Bruce was adapting original Jeet. One of the main things he used to say was he was bored with all these fucking terms and shit. If it's just Jeet Kune Do this, Jeet Kune Do that, Jeet Kune Do concepts, Jeet Kune Do attributes, Jeet Kune Do duplexes, it then loses the point. The point was for it to flow, to have what works for you. He says, you are not a robot. And if you're using only 3 points of attack, then you're being a robot. That's what a robot would do. I mean, it's stupid. Because there is no main area of attack. Your main area of attack is whatever the dumbass left open.